Hello guys, it's me, Amaya, and this is the last two chapters for winter according to Humphrey. Now, it's technically spring. It's technically April and it's going to come out, but guess what? We're going to finish it. Chapter 15, On with the Snow. The day of the show was the last day of school. My friends were all full of energy, but Miss Brisbane calmed them down after they finished their schoolwork. In the afternoon, Miss Lark came to the classroom and wished us luck. I know you did a great job this evening, she said. Remember, keep calm and stay focused. Daniel, did you practice after school? He nodded. Sophie, do you know what you're doing? She asked. Sophie nodded. I was glad to know what she was doing, because I certainly didn't. Miss Lark continued. You'll meet in here and get into your costumes. Then 10 minutes before you go on, I'll stop by and help you line up and walk to the gymnasium. Miss Brisbane thanked her and went out with the rest of the day. When the class was finally over, almost over, Miss Brisbane led my friends practice the songs while sitting in their seats. It sounded so good, I was sure it was going to be a great show. Then Holly raised her hand and asked who was taking Og and me for the holidays. My ears perked up because it was something I wondered for a long time. Brisbane smiled and said, It's a little selfish of me, but I'll be taking them both home. I want Todd and Jenny to get to know them. Besides, you'll all be busy making snowmen. Besides, I heard the radio it's supposed to snow late today. Bernstein was pleased to hear about the snow, except for Joey. He looked out of the window, then closed his eyes for a second. I knew he was wishing his dad could make it home before the snow arrived. When the bell rang at the end of the day, everyone raced out of the room, except for Mrs. Brisbane. I think I'll leave you two here for now, she said. I'll pick you up after the show. Good, I said, because I want to stay here to see my friends. Miss Brisbane chuckled. I guess you're excited as the rest of the class. And she was right. It was dark when everyone turned to Route 26. Aren't you excited, Og? I squeaked. Boing, boing. She dived into the water side to take a splash around. Miss Brisbane arrived first with her husband, Bert. He rolled his wheelchair over to my table. So I heard you guys are coming to visit, he said. That's enough of a present for me. Me too, I agreed. The girls all dressed in white skirts and black pants. Girls are all dressed in white skirts, black pants, or skirts. He already said skirts, but okay. Miss Ray helps them get their snowflakes on their back and wrists. They were shiny and shimmery, and no two were alike. The boys wore dark shirts and pants. Miss Ray helped them with their tails and ears. Once they had the bells, the room was jingling and jingling like mad. In fact, everyone was talking and laughing. Rosie told Mr. Rosie showed Mr. Brisbane how to twirl it like a snowflake in his wheelchair. I heard Phoebe tell Kelly that she was so excited because her grandmother was recording the show so her parents could see it. Sophie was talking and talking, to herself this time. And Joey practiced his whining. Students, why don't we light up now, Miss Brisbane said. Miss Lark will be here soon. When she helped them start her line, Daniel came over to my cage. Okay, Humphrey, I need you to bring my good luck again. He went to my cage and moved toward the line. What about Og? I squeaked just then Daniel tilted the cage and I slid all the way across. Eek! Aren't we taking Og? Mommy asked Daniel. He shrugged. I don't know. Well, you better take Og too. It's really fair. The line started to move into the hallway. Suddenly Mark said, What are you doing in that cage? Daniel said, I'm bringing Humphrey. He's my good luck charm. Then I could see her. Miss Lark wasn't tall, but I looked up from my cage. I saw a giant face. A giant, no-nonsense face. There's no way taking that creature to the gym. But I need him for luck, Daniel said. I can't play without him. Put him back, she admitted. We let him come the other day, he began. Against my better judgment, Miss Lark told him. Put him back now. Yes, Daniel, I know you'll be fine without him, Miss Brisbane said. Daniel carried my cage back to the table by the window. I can't play without you, he said. Yes, you can, I squeaked, even though I was disappointed I missed the show. Suddenly, Daniel opened the door to my cage and scooped me up. Come on, Humphrey, no one will know. He put me in my pocket with his nearest knee. Oh my gosh, Daniel. He put Humphrey in his pocket. Really, Humphrey. And a pocket isn't a good place to put a hamster. The bad news was it was dark and hot in there. The good news I was going to the show after all. Bye, Og! I yelled, even though I'm sure he couldn't hear me. Bump, 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 bump. The class headed down the hall. Once the bumping stopped, I knew that we were somewhere near the gymnasium. Hey, we can see the stage from here, I told Daniel to Thomas. Whoa, it's all snowy, Thomas replied. I used my paws to climb inside my pocket and poked my head out the top. We were staying in the hallway, but I could see a stage from an open door in the gym. The students in Miss Loomis' class were on stage. wearing bright sweaters, scarves, earmuffs, and singing about a wonderland. I recognized some of that class from last year. Golden Maria, Speak Up Sadie, Wait for the Bell Gareth, and Sit Still South were all gathered around a big snowman. Eek! I screamed, he'll melt! Daniel pushed me back into my pocket, and I couldn't see anything. I just snipped 2 raisins out of the cloth. They were squashed, but still tasty. After a while, we started moving again. I could feel us moving up some steps and onto the stage. Thump! That was Daniel sitting down on the bench. Now, Miss Brisbane's class will perform for you. But first, an introduction from Sophie Kasmicki. I peeked out of the pocket again. Sophie walked to the center of the stage and faced the audience. She wasn't wearing a snowflake costume. The audience. I turned and saw them. Mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, grandmothers, and grandfathers, and lots of friends. The gymnasium was packed with people. Sophie stared out of the crowd. Everyone waited for her to say something, but for the first time ever, Stop Talking Sophie didn't feel like talking. I wish I could tell her to squeak up. Luckily, Miss Brisbane cleared her throat loudly. Sophie suddenly opened her mouth and said, most people say that no two snowflakes are identical. However, scientists aren't sure. Just for tonight, we'll say no two snowflakes are the same, because in this class, no two students are the same, and we're happy about that. Then she walked to the side of the cage, and Miss Brisbane helped her put on their snowflakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, Miss Lark said. We began playing. The girls started twirling and whirling and sparkling on stage, singing a song. No two snowflakes are the same. People were oohing and awing at the lovely sight. When they were finished, Miss Lark pointed to Daniel, and he began to play as the boys came on stage. Daniel, prancing and shaking bells were all their hearts. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-horse open sleigh. Just showing out fine. And then the audience roared with laughter. Every time Joey won, the crowd reacted happily. The girls roared them again until and sang the snowflake songs while the boys sang Jingle Bells. It sounded so good I had to have a better look. So I pulled myself up, and something terrible happened. I started falling down, 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 and down. I had to stop myself, so I grabbed Daniel's pant leg. He kept playing, but some of the notes weren't hitting quite right. I was barely listening, though, because I was sliding down, down, down. I made it safely on the floor. I was going to try to safely behind the piano. As soon as I turned, be careful to come see twirl right toward me. I turned away, just as Rolly Rosie rolled dangerously close to me. Took a sharp turn, and they gave hear the horses, jiggling and jiggling so close, one of them pressed my tail. Humphery, I heard him explain. Humphery, other friends shouted. They would stir the audience, but I wasn't bothered by that. I was bothered by the fact my friends were all whirling and prancing to avoid stepping on me, which meant they were crashing into one another. I heard a sound unlike something I'd ever heard before. Eek! Someone was screaming, eek! I didn't know a human could make such a loud sound. Everyone kept looking in the direction of the eek. It was Miss Lark. She stood in the stool screaming, get it out! Get it out! And then the thing I always dreaded happened. Miss Wright blew her whistles. It was usually just what it was, but that shrill blast always made me jump out my fur coat. Everyone, stop where you are, she said. I stopped. The music stopped. The whirling and the twirling and the panting stopped. Even Miss Lark stopped screaming. Miss Brisbane ran to the stage. Joey picked me up in the palm of my hand. I was trembling from all the excitement and the whistle. But she stroked my back with her finger, and that calmed me down. She stepped to the front of the stage to the audience. The amazing friend, she said. Some of you may have not met Humphrey the hamster. He's the class by room 26, and we all love him. I don't know how he got here. He shot a knowing look at Dale's direction. But everyone seems to be safe and sound. Do you think we try that number again? The audience cheered and clapped. Someone yelled, encore! Which I thought meant some more. Miss Ray carefully handed me to Joey. Don't take your eyes off of him. I won't, Joey promised. He also gave my back a softer and reassuring rub. Miss Ray held Miss Lark off her chair. She was still looking a bit shaky, but she went over to her keyboard, and Miss Brisbane got everyone back in place. Took me back from Joey and moved to the far side of the cage. 1, 2, 3, Miss Lark began again. I carefully peeked over my edge of Miss Brisbane's hand. I was amazed at what I heard. Every note was perfect. Every prance, every whiny, every jingle, every whirl and twirl was wonderful. Until I was like, woo-wee! Joey stopped in the middle of the whining. He was staring at the door. I turned my head to look. A tall man with a bright red cloud was standing in the doorway, smiling. His captain waved it. I looked back at Joey. He was waving too. His great big smile let me know that the man was Joey's dad. He had made it. Then Joey opened his mouth and let out the biggest whine yet. When the number was finished, the audience stood up in applause. Miss Lark made my friends sing him out. Bravo, the crowd shouted. Bravo, I squeaked, even though I wasn't exactly sure what it meant, but I knew it meant something good. Our class loved the stage, and Miss Bridgeway rushed me back to room 26 in my cozy cage. Humphrey, I don't know how that happened, but please don't ever do that again. I almost fainted, she said. Me too, I squeaked. Boing, 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 Og twigged. Don't worry, Og. No, that's not Miss Bridgeway. Don't worry, Og. I'll tell you all about it, I said. Miss Bridgeway went back to the gym. And while we were alone, I described everything to Og. I told him the part about Miss Lark hopped up, and he hopped up and down saying, boing, boing, boing. I told him about Joey's dad in the chair at the end. He dived into the water and splashed happily. Then I rested while I waited. All my friends went back home with their families, but Mr. and Miss Bridgeway came to room 26 to pick up Og and me. Mr. Bridgeway was chuckling as they entered the room. You certainly put on a show that no one will forget, he said. Not as long as they live. You know who to thank for that, she said. Humphery. It seems like Daniel put him in his pocket for good luck. Seems like it's good luck after all, her husband agreed. Miss Wright popped her head at the door. Is the hamster all right? Miss Wright assured her that I was fine. A good thing I had this, when I fingered her whistle. Have a wonderful holiday. As she popped her head out of the doorway again. I have to say, I couldn't have done without the whistle, but it was nice to hear Miss Wright care if I was all right. The doorway again, Miss Lark entered. Sue, I'm so embarrassed about what happened, she said. I apologize. I told the students to keep calm and focused, but I didn't follow my own advice. It turned out all right in the end, Miss Bridgeway said. But tell me, why are you so afraid of a little hamster? I don't know, Miss Lark said. I've always been terrified of animals. My mother said I'd always been scared of something furry since I was a baby. That's a shame, Miss Bridgeway. That's a shame, Mr. Bridgeway said. I know, Miss Lark said. I wish I could change. Well, you can go and break down though you put on a great show, Miss Bridgeway said. The children did all the work, Miss Bridgeway said. Oh, there you are, Mr. Boy stepped from the doorway. He was wearing a kidney striped tie with his suit and a Santa hat on his head. Congratulations, told Miss Lark. You were right about the show. We'll have to do this every year. What about the part with the hamster? She asked. Mr. Morris laughed so hard his Santa shook. Believe me, Mary, that was the best part of all. Humphrey's Winter Wonderies. I wonder how the show was gone if Dale didn't put me in his pocket. It would have been entertaining, but not nearly as exciting. Okay, this is our last chapter, guys, and it's chapter 16. Decking the Halls. Og and I stayed at Miss Bridgeway's house many times, but this time it had changed completely. For one thing, there were tiny twinkling lights all around the doors and windows. There's a wreath on the door that looked like a candle inside the windowsill. Inside, a gigantic tree that took up the whole corner of the living room. It was covered with lights and little ornaments. I couldn't see them from all the way from my cage, but I did see elves and reindeer shining around things. There were loud streets that draped around the tree. And one of the streets were cranberries, and the other street was popcorn. Yum, I love popcorn. Me too, Humphrey. Me too. There were long stockings hanging from the fireplace mantel. That's the kind of stocking Holly was talking about. There were decorations everywhere. Merry Christmas, Humphrey and Tom, Miss Bridgeway said as they got settled in. Tomorrow will be a big day. She certainly wasn't exaggerating. The next morning, Miss Bridgeway's sister arrived with her husband. There were lots of hugging, talking, and more hugging. The doorbell rang. Miss Bridgeway's niece and her husband arrived. Then there were two children, a little younger than the students in room 26. Once their clothes were off and the suitcases carried inside, Miss Bridgeway brought them over to meet us. Jenny and Todd, this is Humphrey, our classroom hamster, she said. Pleased to meet you, I squeaked. Jenny and Todd giggled. And this is our classroom frog, Og, she continued. Boing, boing! Jenny and Todd laughed out loud. It was fun meeting new children. Jenny and Todd helped their Aunt Sue, that's what they called our teacher, and Uncle Bert, that's what they called our teacher's husband, take care of us. They even helped clean out my poop, and they didn't even say ew once. When Miss Bridgeway took me out of the cage and put me in my hamster ball, Jenny and Todd loved following me all around the living room. They also loved throwing froggy food sticks into Og's tank. Late that night, it was time for bed. Miss Bridgeway brought Jenny and Todd to the living room. They're both in their pajamas, ready for bed. Tonight, Santa will come for presents, she said, and he'll fill these stockings for you. How come him know we're here and not home? Jenny asked. Because Santa knows everything, Miss Bridgeway said. Don't worry, he'll be here, so you better leave some cookies for him and a glass of milk. And some carrots for Santa's reindeer? Todd asked. Of course, Miss Bridgeway said. They're working hard tonight. Did you hear that, Og? I squeaked to my friend. Yummy carrots? Og didn't answer, because I don't think frogs are very interested in carrots. They put the food on the table right next to us and headed for bed. Right before she left the room, Miss Ray came into my cage. Remember the poem, Humphrey? What poem? I asked. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not creature is stirring, not even a hamster. Then she laughed and turned on the lights. That's a funny poem, I said to Og when we were alone. Hamster doesn't even rhyme with house. I didn't seem to care about what rhymed and what didn't. So I sat and sat, looking at the stockings and looking at the tree and looking at the popcorn. After a while, the popcorn looked more and more interesting to me. I like crunchy things. I even ate popcorn once and I liked it. Og, I don't think it would hurt if I went over and looked at the tree, did you? I asked my neighbor. Og splashed around a little. I wasn't sure if that meant yes or no. A little while later, I said, I won't touch anything, I'll just look at the ornaments. Og splashed a little more, but it was hard to figure out what he meant. So I finally made a decision. I jiggled the lock that doesn't lock and threw open the door, screaming out of my cage. I'll be right back, I said. The table were low, so I could easily slid down the leg and hurry over to the tree. At first, I stood there and stared at it. I never seen anything so glowy and glittery in my life. Then moved forward at the shiny, sparkly things. The ornaments were fantastic. There were tiny snowmen, a jolly Santa, and lots of red and green and gold balls. There were apple ornaments in little houses. And there was the popcorn, crispy, crunchy popcorn. I stared closer to the tree. One of the popcorn trees almost touched the ground. I thought it was delicious. I thought it wouldn't hurt if I took a nibble of a popcorn kernel. I didn't think anymore. I raced to the tree, stood on my tippy toes and took a bite. Oh my, it was delicious. So I took another bite. Boing, boing, Og said. He had a way of warning me. But I didn't see any danger. The room was empty and there was so much popcorn. And Miss Fishface wouldn't miss a cut on you. Crunch, crunch. It was as yummy as I imagined. Munch. There was so much of it. Boing, boing, boing. Og drank just a few more bites of bag as I munched and crushed a few more. But I heard a thump and a bump. And I stopped munching and crunching and looked out of the room. There was a flash of red and a dash of white. Somebody was there. I froze mid-crunch. Who could it be? The red moved, the white moved, then I reached the top of my branch and put my feet up. Someone was nearby, they might think I was an ornament. Thank goodness, Og was as quiet as a mouse. The red and white figure stood in front of the fireplace and reached up to the stockings. The red and white thing moved to the table where my cage and Og's tank sat. Paper rattled, something thumped and bumped, something clicked, something crunched. I heard more footsteps. Then I didn't see any red and white anymore. Pretty sure we know who it is. I'm pretty sure that's Santa. I stood frozen in place for a long, long time. Even after I was sure the red figure had left, I just waited and waited some more. Have to admit, I did notice that Og suddenly said, boing, boing, boing. What was I trying to say? Boing, boing, he repeated. I thought about it. Og was so quiet when the red and white thing was nearby. Maybe try to tell that word alone again. Is the coast clear? Is the coast clear? I squeaked. Boing, he replied. Og had never left me down before, so I took a chance. I dropped from the branch and scrambled all the way to the floor to the table. Boing, boing, God tried in an encouraging way. When I got to the table, I needed a way back up. I was surprised to see a big pile of packages nearby that wasn't there before. I climbed them up like steps to the table and headed toward my cage. So I hurried along. I passed by the bowl of cookies, the glass of milk, and a plate of carrots. That was a strange thing. The cookies were gone, the glass of milk was empty, and there were no carrots. I knew Og had taken them, but who had? I was happy to be back in my cage again. I closed the door behind me. What happened, honestly? Did you see who it was? Boing, 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 Og replied. He was hopping up and down, leaping around. Do you mean, I paused to think, do you mean it was Santa Claus? Here? Og hopped and leaped and boinged some more. It could have been, I said. It might have been. It must have been Santa. I hate to say, I was disappointed I haven't got a better look at him, but I was happy he didn't see me. Santa came, Todd and Jenny shouted the next morning. It was fun to watch the family open presents and empty the stockings and laugh a lot. When Jenny and Todd played with their presents, Miss Mary came over to my table and leaned in. You didn't think Santa would forget you, did you? She asked as she opened my cage and slipped in a wooden object, like one of those dumbbells humans used to make themselves stronger. Merry Christmas, Humphrey, she said. Here's something to chew on. Jenny and Todd ran over to watch me sniff the new object. I carefully bit into it. It was a fern to the bite and a very first thing to chew on. Thank, I said. Then she gently placed a fine plant on Og's tank and said, Merry Christmas, Og. This will make your house a little nicer, give you some shade. Og dived into his water and said, Boing, boing, boing. Jenny and Todd laughed every single time Og said something. Then Miss Ray announced that she had another surprise for Og and me coming soon. Later that day, the doorbell rang, and Miss Ray opened the door. Guess who was there? It was Miss Lark, carrying her little keyboard with her. Thank you for inviting me, she said. Glad to have you, Mary, she said. For long, Miss Burnet's whole family and Miss Lark were sitting at the big dining room table. I could see them from the living room. They ate a lot of delicious smelling dinner and talked and laughed a lot. After dinner, they gathered in the living room. Miss Lark played some songs called carols on her keyboard, and everyone sang. I especially enjoyed Miss Lark's lovely voice. Oh, they're wonderful songs. I especially like the one next to your halls and Bongs and Holly. Fa la 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 la, everyone sang. I joined in. Fa la 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 la. I even heard a boing boing. The humans stopped singing, but Og and I were still fa la logging. Miss Ray laughed. Mary, I think our friends Humphrey and Og like your songs. Miss Lark shivered. They're here, she said. You know I'm afraid of animals. Things can change, Miss Ray said. She motioned to the side of the couch next to the tabletop. Why don't you come over here and watch them? They're quiet and tame, Mrs. Bridget said. Right, Humphrey? Right, I squeaked. If the Bridget wanted entertainment, I was the hamster to provide it. First I got to the tip of my cage. Watched carefully, and then I grabbed to the tree branch and leaped from limb to limb. Oh my, Miss Lark said. Come down under his plant. Boing, boing, boing. Jenny and Tom laughed. I think I heard Miss Lark laugh too. Not to be outdone, I scurried to the ladder bridge and walked all the way across the other side of my cage. I climbed up, up, up. This time I hugged from the top of my cage and made it all the way down from side, paw over paw. Look, Miss Lark said, that's amazing. Splash! I heard a spectacular dive to the water side of his tank and began to swim. Ooh, Miss Lark exclaimed. Now, do you think those lovely little animals would hurt you, do you? Rita said. May I hold Humphrey? Jenny asked. Yes, but you have to be careful, Miss Rita explained. He has never been anyone so far, but you might be new fast and frightened. He might. Believe me, I wasn't about to bit Jenny. Miss Brisbane showed her how to cut me in one hand and how to hold me in the other, a few inches above my head, like a little roof. I felt warm and cozy. Can I put him on, Sue? Tyler asked. Yes, if you stroke his back lightly with your finger. Billy said. Oh, that felt good. He's soft, Todd whispered. How about you, Mary? Billy said. Sure, go ahead, I squeaked, and wiggled my whiskers to look extra friendly. She reached out slowly and rubbed her finger on my back. Oh, yes, he is soft, she said. He's got such a cute face. Yes, 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 I have won her over. 2 days ago, she made scream at the sight of me, and now she is my friend. A new friend is really the best gift of all. After dinner, everyone ate pie and chatted. Miss Ritter said, this has been the most perfect Christmas, celebrated with family and good friends. That includes you, Humphrey and Og. Geez, Wiz, look out, come out and look at the window. Mr. Brisbane called out. He made peeking through the curtains, but now he opened them wide. Outside, snow was falling, covering the lawn, the sidewalks and trees. The Christmas lights twinkled merrily against the falling snow. Oh, it's beautiful, Miss Lark said. A white Christmas tree time. We can build a snowman. Make snowflake ice cream. Can you see it, Og? I asked. Boing, boing, but Og replied. You know what it is. It's a winter wonderland, I told him. I watched the snow and thought my friends were doing. Simon spinning his drum, Holly helping her grandparents, Sylvie saying of the Navy scene, Harry running all over the house with his cousins, while Paul F. ran his train around the tree. Sylvie was talking on the phone with her parents, I was sure. I bet Kelsey was dreaming about dancing in the Nutcracker. Thomas was singing carols, Rosie and her family were eating yummy tamales, and there was Joey with his dad, and he was happy. I was happy too. Happy to be a classroom pet with great friends and so many great humans and one funny frog. That's something I can celebrate every day of the year. Fa la 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 la, speak loudly, la 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 la. Humphrey's Winter Worries. I wonder if I could ever have a better holiday in my life. And that is it. We have finally finished the book. Took us till April. We have finally finished the book of Winter Court and Humphrey. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this book. I certainly did. And I'm glad Miss Lark overcame her fear. And if you want to see more Humphrey books, leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And so we have more fun times playing with me. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.